Hey, what's up with your brother? Would you introduce yourself to the audience?
Wow, this Terrance Gangsta William, aka OG Giggity, aka Mr. Answer, right back, aka the People Champ, Terrance Williams, and I'm down here in Shreveport, and I'm on BXBZ channel. Let's get it.
Hey, look here, I'm glad to have you here and everything. So let's start with these questions. I mean, number one, what is the latest project that you and Lil Decent been doing?
We started working on back on a nonprofit. We been reaching out, talking to the children, and then we also took some clothes and brought to the to the shelter today. We did that. Actually, we did that today. Passed out what Diesel passed the clothes out. I just brought him there. I usually just leave the clothes and let them do it, but he took his time and hold on, Eric, but he made sure everybody got something.
Okay, yeah, much respect for that there. That's one of the things I wanted to focus on the most, the fact that y'all could come together like that. Mm-hmm. So what has been the hardest part you found about this newfound relationship you have with your once time enemy?
He don't let him work the internet, man. He drive me crazy. Like if I leave him, if I put him on a page or put him on the computer and leave him alone, it's and when I walk off and come back, it's like he just sitting there waiting for the computer to come back on. Bro, you gotta touch this stuff. You gotta, so he's like, huh? What? Like he, just like when them innocent little children don't know what's going on, but it'd be fun, but then sometimes be like, come on, man, like when it's time to fly out of that, like Diesel, you gotta be focused, man. We gotta be 2 hours ahead. We gotta do this. He love the party now, so and I understand he just come home, so he want to go to every club. He gonna get his little drink on. But this is what I know about Diesel, y'all. Diesel out the mouth from talking about y'all, and make sure he hear this. He love to go out. He love to go out of town, but he don't want to drive. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be a common thing.
Yeah.
Now, as some of the things that y'all been doing and what y'all been doing in the community and everything, have y'all have any feedback from the different people out the different areas, from his people and your people saying, hey, they done sold us out. They done became friends, so now they done sold us out when we had a lifelong beef.
No, actually, we got people saying, I'm happy y'all finally come together because I've been was cool with him, or I was being cool with her, or I've been trying to hide it. So y'all made it cool for us to come out in the public to let it be known we cool now. They happy we didn't came together.
So y'all did what they should have.
I haven't had not one person, not one person to tell me, man, you wrong. You should have never got cool with these. I don't like that. Everybody loved how we came together.
That's a beautiful thing, man. I love it myself, you know what I'm saying? So I'm way down on this end. Now, as for the situations, we've been having some of the situations with Charleston White and his activities that are going on. Mm-hmm. So, and I know Charleston White is one of your podcasters, and y'all do well together. But as far as some of the things that he say and some of the things he do you think he actually believe that, or he's just being entertained?
I think he's entertaining because if you pay attention to Charleston, he'll say something one time, then he'll come back somewhere else and apologize. Or he'll say something one time, like, man, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. But he just do that for shock value, and some people bite into it. Like when he said, forget the baby. The black community went in the, oh, he should be banned from YouTube. He should do this. And then he came back and say, I don't know why I said forget the baby. He come, so he just do stuff for shock value, and people bite. And the same ones that were saying he should be banned from YouTube or say Chi, Real Life Streets or Terrance don't interview him no more. Now when he come and do something else that go viral, they covering the story. So that's why I was like, they big hypocrites. But I was like, I'm not gonna let them dictate who I interview or how I make my money. So I ignored him, and look how. And even Joseph he said, man, that's not the first time I say something and the black community in the uproar. That too shall pass. And it passed. So I say, man, he got this down to a size, man.
Yeah, it sounds like Charleston. But what about, let me ask you about the guy you had on there, what he said, what he was. Fleece was
Fleece Johnson, yeah, the booty warrior.
Booty warrior. Uh-huh. Now, my opinion, Fleece sounds like a man who just went to jail and fell in love with a boy in jail, and simple as that. Mm-hmm. And as far as the booty warrior aspect and some of the wildest aspect he's done, I mean, I've been locked up with a lot of dudes, and as me and you to relate to, who have got in there and they had They had their boys, and they were solid men on every other level. They had their boys, and we fooled with them, respecting them. But Flea sounded like he was a confused dude that fell in love with a boy because he, like I said, he was younger. But he seemed to be more, and we would call that being tricked.
Oh yeah, that's how we get.
Yeah,
Right,
we call that being
state,
tricked.
right? He admit to a lot of stuff that he went through, what he did, doing throughout the interview. But before that, he always talked about that. But he have a wife right now. He called his wife while we was there and let us talk to her and everything. So he went through it. The part that I do respect, that he told us the truth, what he went through, so we know what we're dealing with. We know. So he gave us a chance to say, okay, if you want to deal with me or not. This is my life. This is what I've been through. This is what's going on. I laid it on the table. That's up to you if you want to deal with me or not. Now, for the ones, because you got some brothers that's undercover that still got that freakiness in them. So, he opened the door like, all right, now, you play with me. I'm in the interview and going on back with you. Or you got the men that's like, listen, let's come here and take this business. Let's talk about this and we out of here, because he's not disrespectful in person.
And then, I mean, what he okay.
I heard a boom.
And what he choose, I mean, whatever he choose to do, like I said, I've been in jail and I see it all around me and going on. And you got dudes that they did that, and then they come out and they got women. Matter of fact, it's certain place they got a high percentage of it that I'm not gonna put that out there because I'm not picking at nobody, but there is that happens. They come out here and going on because I used to tell people all the time. I asked a dude actually told me, and I asked him, I said, why? I said, you do your thing, man. I said, that's you, man. I got fiend books in here. Oh, this, what I'm saying? You want to do the fiend book, He like, man, no. He said, man, look here. He said, you fiend book. He said, when you drinking your wine, you making your wine. He said, would you drink that crap out on the street? I said, no, it's just a substitute. You eat Roman soup, would you eat that on the street? No, I go to Freeman Harris. He said, this ain't no permanent thing. This just a substitution until I get back out. Dude told me that, and I couldn't argue with him, what I'm saying? So I couldn't argue with him, so I can't do it big for him as long as everything kept in perspective.
Right.
So I seen the interview going on. The dude was very hilarious and everything, but I seen him more as a victim than I did as, if I'm wrong, tell me. I seen him more as a victim, and a victim who came up and he shook it off and he made the best out of it. But it still seemed to be victimization because he was such a young dude that went in there and he got himself. So if anybody get a pass, it should be a person who's too young to fully understand, especially when you ain't never had that thing. But I mean, what you think?
I think, like you said, he was young when he went in there, and then he just because I heard he started with 10 years and then fighting and getting into the guards, he ran it up to 40 years. So he wound up doing the 40 in prison. So his whole life, he said his first time, he got his virgin broke from dealing with another man. And when you had that thought, then whenever you think you got another man pregnant, man, that man had us in that rolling. So, honestly though, Bam Bam, with me having so much going on, like I know a person's story, I know they got going on, but I don't lock into it because sometimes I don't be like, you know what, I ain't gonna get into his business. I don't want to offend him or type of way, because I got my own stuff that I'm dealing with. So if I see a way where we can do some content and put it out to the world, and because sometimes you got people that been taken advantage of in prison, people that was talked out of their private parts, that they want a voice. They want somebody to come out and say, yeah, when I was in prison, man, I messed with boy, I got my virgin broke. Because you got a lot of other guys that was in jail that was young, got their virgin broke from, being in prison, that gave up their butt because they didn't have no money. They didn't have no homies or nothing. They just gave up. So you got a lot of people. So you got people that will speak out. So you got people that look at what he's doing saying, man, I wish I had that courage to speak out and say that. I wish I had the courage to talk. So he'd be the voice for them. But I sometimes you want to lean to, man, he was a victim, he got to take advantage of. But the older he get, he know better. And when he talk his story, man, he just enjoying it. He just laugh. He enjoying life right now.
He making the best of it.
Yeah.
being victimized, you can have all the muscles in the world going on. If you are, not to say he was a simpleton, if you're a person who, I like to say, I've been doing time out of my life. I've seen people get victimized because they wanted cigarettes. And that was victimization to me. I mean, like I said, going on. But now, be just like they asked me about the Trump thing. What is your opinion on the reason for Trump pardoning Larry Hoover?
I think
community.
He commuted his sentence, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a beautiful thing. Some people say that was a distraction. I tell people I don't. What was there to just be a distraction for? Because yes, Trump is laying off a lot of people. They're cutting out a lot of those jobs. Okay, he may feel like something we just wasting money. I don't know. I don't agree with, because I got some people, family and friends that are going to be affected by those jobs that Trump is. Him and Elon Musk, I think they stopping. And on the other hand, this is Trump's last term, so it's not like he trying to pardon Larry Hoover to get the blacks, to get people to rally. You know, saying, "Look, I'm a friend, y'all people." You know, because he can't get in the office no more.
Well, some people seem to believe that it's to distract away from the South Africa situation. As you know, that he just took all the South African white refugees that he is allowing them to come over here, where he done cut the ones who had supposed to have been coming over here who's black. He's saying they are being discriminated and they are being persecuted. Now, in Elon Musk, being from South Africa, white South African, the white South African is 7% over in South Africa. Yet they own 75% of the farmland. How are they being oppressed? I mean, what would you? So this is going on right now. You as a standing president, you commute Larry Hoover's sentence. Even I know Larry Hoover got life in the feds for the operations that was going on in there. I believe he deserved to be out. I want him out because he's going to try to do something different. And I did. But they feel no, what I'm saying. So, but him, he comes here. He has taken and commuted his sentence. But you didn't take care of the state first. Everybody, I'm a convict. I know that the state and the Fed is separate. So therefore, why wouldn't you go to that governor first and say, "Hey, I want Larry Hoover out. I'm going to look here. What I need to talk to you about, I want him commuted here. Then I'm finna go commute him here." Why would you do something that you know you can't complete, especially when this government don't even fool with you? He at odds with you. So why would you make a decision that he could stop without even talking to him first and try to see what his mindset was?
That's a good question. Now, just me.
Mm-hmm.
Trump controlled federal, right? We agree with that. The governors control the state. Trump's job is commute this. Now, to my knowledge, no one said Trump, he go so many millions of dollars, but they don't take care of that for Larry. They just looked at it like, okay, Larry Hoover been down 52 years, they put it on the table. So I'm like, you know what, the man done all this time for the federal. Let me go get him out of the way. I don't have nothing else to do with the rest of that. That's not no more business. I did my part. Now that's on them. Like I said, even with C. Murray, I was like, now if these governors are Republicans, now Trump could say, "Look, go ahead on and take care of that." He could pass the word to his people, right? But he feel like I done my part. Now, what I'm hearing with the state, they got parole or whatever, so he may be due to come for parole or however that go. But I feel like Trump did his part, his job. Okay, I'm gonna get you from out of the ADAs from the federal. Now, state come pick you up, they come pick you up. But once you're up out of our custody, that's on you to handle your business from there. That's just my opinion on that. Now, the reason why I disagree with for is distraction. We all know that because we both are content creators. When it comes to someone doing something, like you can go viral today, and then tomorrow something else pop up. Well, what you went viral with today, people forgot about that right away because out here they have a short attention span. So yes, he pardoned Larry Hoover, and that was a big talk, but it wasn't nothing distracted from it because you got to keep in mind, you got your white and you got your blacks that some of them don't even much care about Larry Hoover or what had Larry Hoover got going on. They care about stock markets. They care about jobs. They care about all kind of other stuff. So you got people that still focus on that stuff, what you just brought about, what's over there with the Africans, what's going on with all that. So it just us in social media that feel, okay, yeah, he did that. Like, prime example, I wasn't even aware of that white that was trying to come from South Africa, whatever, to come on. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So that wasn't even on my mind or on my plate. Bro, when I was in the Fed, I used to live in front of CNN TV. Out here, I could name on one pinky digit right here how many times I looked at CNN. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that stuff, it don't much pertain. I don't care about it. It's irrelevant to me. But, what's it? But when you bring up certain stuff, like, okay, you know, in jail, I was interested in all that kind of stuff. I paid attention to all the little politics, and that was my thing. But now here I'm like, this my social media, this how I'm grinding, getting that money, this what I'm on. You know, yeah, Trump did that. But like I say, he pardoned Larry Hoover. But now if you notice, a lot of focus been on the people that escaped from the Orleans Parish jail. You know what I'm saying? They say we got the most inmates that have escaped out of jail from Louisiana.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that's a distraction. People are covering that more than the Larry Hoover now. You know what I'm saying? So there's always something that's going to come up that's going to distract you for a few minutes. But then right after that, we back to the, all right, now, Trump, what's going on with this now? All right, we saw what you did with the Larry Hoover. We saw that. Yeah, that was a big old fuss for so many hours. All right, now, boy. So that's why I be like, nah, I don't think it was a distraction. I just think he did that because he felt like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead on, this was right. And I got the authority, so I'm going to go ahead and stroke this pen. Now, I think it would be a big distraction if he commuted or if he pardoned Puffy.
Well,
that would have had a world shook.
I still think he did that as a distraction. I understand, and I respect your point. I understand that if he's trying to do something to get some people out of here that did enough time and should be trying to do something different than the next person on the thing should be Wayne Perry. That's my, I'm entitled to my opinion.
Right.
Okay, and as far as P. Diddy and the other dudes and
R. Kelly.
Yeah, R. Kelly and all these stuff. I think like with me, I do podcasts and I'm getting the podcast and I do my thing with podcasts, but I don't like to do what they call that social media stuff. I don't like to do that pick and pack and going on. If it's something sensible in which I can respond to, then I respond to. That's why I don't do beef things. I do respond. I know so much stuff on some of the people that's going on.